So for today's project, I'm going to be working on trying to replace one of the cards in the cube. I've taken the packs out of the cube. As you can see, I got little cloth packs here, and I keep the cards in the packs. I'll have to take all the cards out. I'm just going to replace one card today. It's a lot of work for a 540 card cube, but that's what has to be done, so I'll start the process now. Alright, so for the first step, basically what I do is I just take the cards out of the packs that I have them already in. I've got these cloth bags, they're reusable. I already have my cards sleeved so that it's easy for people to draft quickly and stuff like that. I also have a box of pre-sleeved basic lands that I bring with me that are in the same sleeve so that people can quickly sleeve their cards. Anyway, once I start taking the cards out, I put them into the piles by colors so that I'll end up with roughly 6 piles, because I'll put the lands and the artifacts in basically one pile. So that'll kind of give me a sense of what we're doing here. You know, I use guild gates. They're really affordable. They're great for fixing the land base, and I also like to use the key runes for land fixing, so that, you know, when I get this stuff done, there's plenty of fixing in the deck. Even though I don't have any multicolored cards yet, I've put that on the, if I ever decide to expand my cube, I'll go into the multicolored arena. But for now, for my first cube, I've stayed pretty much to the 5 basic colors, and my goal is to create kind of a balance between the colors. That's what I'm striving for with the design of my cube, is balance. Anyway, so you can see I'm going to have to do this now for the rest of the packs. There are quite a few packs, you know, 36 packs, so I'll get through those so that I can make the replacement I need. Alright, so at this point I've managed to get all of the packs unpacked, and I've stacked all of the cards into the various colors so that I could make the change to the deck and add the card that I intended to add, which was something I actually pulled at Magic Celebration. In this case, it was Ogre Battle Driver that I've decided to add to the deck. So anyway, to the cube. So that's the way it is. So at this point, what I do is I take each color, and basically I end up shuffling all the colors so that they're random, and I keep them in the 6 pile category, so that when I pack it, I take one from each of the piles, going through it top to bottom and bottom to top alternately for each pack, to make sure that I get an even distribution of colors within each pack. The reason I use the cloth packs to begin with is because, you know, they are opaque. I ended up with kind of a jungle themed zebras and leopard skins, and I kind of used a leopard skin duct tape for the actual cube itself. So I call it the jungle. But the reason that I use the bags themselves is because, like I said, it's very convenient for the players when they draft. It makes it much faster, both to draft and for me to take apart and put together each time. This is a very fast way to do it, so that's why I do this. Alright, so we've shuffled the cards, and now we just, like I said, we go basically from top to bottom, counting out 15 each time to make sure that we get the appropriate color distribution for the packs. That way there's no question that you know, people will be able to probably get what they need in the draft on a certain level. Normally I go a little faster than this, but I have the camera here, so it's taking a little more time. Anyway, that's 15. So that's a pack, and then I take these cards, the 15, put them inside the bag so that it's ready for drafting, essentially. And it's a little hard to get it into the bag with one hand, but anyway, you understand. You get the idea as to how the process works. As I move through it, I only have to do this 35 more times, I guess, just gonna have to actually put that in there. Alright, so that's that. And then for the next pack, then I start with the bottom row and go to the top. That way when I end, as long as I alternate from top to bottom each time, it will come out correct at the very end for the cards and the packs. So that's the way I do it. Alright, so I've unpacked and packed all the bags again. Now I have them in the box. The cube's ready to go. The blue bag, usually I put some dice in there. I'll do that later. The other thing I like to do is, like I said, I like to keep pre-sleeved basic lands on hand for the draft so that the players can quickly just go in, get the lands they need for the decks that they want. I just, have 80 to 100 of each kind of land in there. It's a 540 card cube, so if 8 people draft, that should be enough. Plus I've got the 40 dual guild gates. And then the final thing I like to have is kind of a token folder for the tokens that they might need as they play, so I bring that along so that their tokens ready. And then just for cleanup, I keep an empty box ready so that when they're done, I can just put all the cards that they've drafted into the box, bring them back, start the process over again, sorting, shuffling, making any changes that I might want to make. Anyway, that's how I do my cube. I find it runs a lot better when it's all organized like this and ready to go into pre-sorted packs where they've been pre-shuffled and they're ready. People don't get confused about which pile they're drafting from. It makes things a lot smoother. Having the lands in the matching pre-sleeved penny sleeves is very helpful too, and like I said, having a way to clean it up when you're done, along with having the additional benefit of the tokens, makes it just run a lot better. So that's how I'm running my cube drafts, and hope that helps you if you're thinking about running a cube draft as well. So the last thing I'm doing right now is acquiring a couple of the tokens that I need for the cube so that my players can have some of the official tokens as well as the ones that I've made in terms of the drafting. So that's kind of that. It hasn't been always easy to find the tokens like any card. Some stores have the tokens you need and some stores don't. I'll have to take one last trip today to get a couple more tokens. So, but that's been part of the process of building my cube overall. It's been, very hard to find all the cards I needed. I've had to try it, and get them from multiple sources. I've had to trade for cards for other players, which I always think is kind of nice. When I have the opportunity to trade, I like to do it. It's a social experience, and it usually benefits both players involved. And, it saves them a little bit of money, too. I don't always get the cards exactly that I might have in mind when I'm trading, but I usually get something I can use. And that's usually worth more to me than whatever I'm trading. And the other party obviously feels the same way, so we usually, can get something done, and it works out really well. I got an extra set of penny sleeves in here that I keep in case one of the cards that I've got sleeved is breaking. Penny sleeves are great for a collection this size. 540 cards is a lot of cards. Anyway, I've used penny sleeves for my collection, and I find them very good for drafting in general because they're fast to sleeve. They're a little looser fitting, but they've definitely helped me sleeve all the cards in my cube. The cube's 540, so it should be good to draft for 8 people. Hopefully people who, wouldn't otherwise be able to draft because they don't have the money to draft, or maybe they don't have the experience, get an opportunity to draft with a cube like this. Having a cube is kind of a social experience, in my opinion. It's a different mindset than like EDH or something like that, where people get caught up in the wallet wars and building the most expensive broken deck collections they can. This is very much a cube that I've tried to focus on balance with the colors and give them all an opportunity to work. So that's where I'm at with my cube. Like I said, I've kind of been all over the place trying to get the cards I need for the cube, and now all I need to really do is find the players who are willing to draft the cube. Like I said, it's not always easy, unfortunately. The low value on my cube is $100, so just over $100. So it's not a very expensive cube. It's not a power cube, but I do think it's a balanced cube, and right now I think that the cube has a lot of the themes that I wanted to build into the cube, and it's getting very difficult for me to make changes to a cube.